Hello, I'm Daphne Pugh, a EDM 310 student at the University of South Alabama. Today I'll be introducing and interviewing Miss Megan Crum, a kindergarten teacher at Craighead Elementary School. Here's Megan. Megan, I have a few questions I wanted to ask you. What inspired you to become a teacher?
Okay, well first I'll start by saying that I wasn't on the first track to become a teacher. I started off wanting to be a pharmacist because, you know, the saying that teachers don't make enough money for all the work that they do. So when all came tumbling down, it didn't work out, and I had to talk with one of my best friends, and she was like, remember what you're passionate about. And I was like, oh yeah, I love kids. And she was like, well, that's what you need to do. And I was like, well, teaching don't make a lot of money. And she was like, well, it's not that serious, Megan. So I came home and I went to South Alabama and I studied elementary education because I always wanted to be a teacher. I first started off being a Sunday school teacher just, you know, to see how I react with kids, and I found that I loved it. So once I started at South, you know, we did a lot of going to the classrooms and stuff like that just to see, you know, when you get started, to see if you really like it before you go deep in. And so when I started teaching, doing my student teaching, all that, it just came together that this was the position for me.
Okay. What are some ways you integrated technology in your lessons?
Okay, so this generation, they love to dance. I figured that out real easily. So a lot of times I just play music or whatever. I'll find things on YouTube that have a little song to it, like we do adding, subtraction, all that. You just find music, even learning the alphabet, and then they catch on really quick. So a lot of times I go to music.
Okay, that's a great one. How do you incorporate project-based learning in your lessons? Because out of this semester we talked a lot about project-based learning and how to integrate it with your classroom.
Okay, so that is one thing that my principal has really stressed a lot last year. And it was one of the tasks that I would say struggle with, but I'm still learning to get, you know, kindergarten, you think, okay, it's kindergarten. You can't just send them to a computer and tell them to type in something and just find it out. So a lot of things I had to start from the beginning. I had to walk them through it, teach them how to go here. And a lot of times we just do whole group, like I'll start off with a video, something like that, introducing them to it, and then we'll work our way, and as each step go, I'll teach them what we're doing. So then the next time we're able to just, you know, they'll feel comfortable with it. So a lot of times it's a lot of videos that helps them a lot with this group being so young. And then when we move on, I have to show them first, like, okay, we're gonna do this is what we're gonna do. A whole group, I show them, and then I send them out and let them do it.
Okay, so what are some of your ways you get students back on track when they lose focus?
Okay, losing focus. Like I said, this is kindergarten, so they're very short-minded. So a lot of time, brain breaks. We just have to okay, if I see everybody's kind of getting bored, they're losing it, we stop. Put the pencil down, stand up, jump around or whatever. They just like to move, so a lot of times I just try to keep them moving to keep them focused.
Okay. And another question I have, after your first year teaching, what was your favorite activity that you incorporated technology and project-based learning?
I would have to say investigating a pumpkin. We learned about 5 senses. So I first introduced a book. We went over the book, we talked about pumpkins, and with that book, you know, it taught them about pumpkins. And then a lot of my students had never really, maybe went to the store and just seen a pumpkin, but when we actually got into cutting it open and feeling inside, they have never done that. And then we discussed a lot of things on what can you do with a pumpkin, can you eat a pumpkin, and they got to touch it. And then I also incorporate the seeds to do math with. So we counted the seeds, we grouped them and by tens, we counted them like that, and they really enjoyed that.
Okay, that's a great one. I have to steal that one. Okay, and my last question, what is some advice you'll give a first-time new teacher?
Don't give up. That's what I can tell you. It was at a point where I was just, I don't know, I was just lost. It's like being a new teacher, you're coming in. The other teachers, they have already been doing it, so, you know, sometimes you kind of feel like you're just left by yourself. Even though they try to help you, there's only so much they can do because, you know, they're trying to take care of their class as well. So a lot of times I felt like I was alone, but you can't be scared to ask questions. That was the one thing that got me through this semester. This year. I asked questions, even if it was first grade teacher, kindergarten, fifth grade, whoever. I didn't mind asking questions, asking advice. So don't feel like you're alone. Don't just sit there, be by yourself. Ask for help if you're feeling confused or whatever. Some days you're gonna go home crying because you just feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, but don't give up, because in the end, it all works out.
Okay, and once again, thank you for letting me interview. Bye. Thanks.